Welcome everybody, it's Taormino here, and today's a great day because I've got another Memory Monday for you guys, and today I'm talking about a classic PC game released by LucasArts back in 1993, and actually drawn in super high definition, released recently, remastered in March of 2016. It is Day of the Tentacle. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with Day of the Tentacle is actually a sequel to Ron Gilbert's Manic Mansion. Manic Mansion released on PC and NES, where a bunch of kids, for some reason, someone went missing. I didn't really play the game, but like someone went missing, and a bunch of kids went into this weird like mansion, and you had to avoid them from getting like killed and kidnapped and killed and stuff from the guy who lived in the mansion. I guess the only person that walked away from Manic Mansion is now one of the main players, one of the three main players in Day of the Tentacle. Now, Day of the Tentacle, the premise of the game is where the main owner of that same Manic Mansion he's like a crazy scientist, doctor scientist guy. He does all these weird science stuff. But there's a bunch of sludge coming out the back of the Manic Mansion, and for some reason these tentacles that showed up in regular Manic Mansion, one of them was thirsty and drank the sludge and got little arms that like popped out the side of the tentacle, because before they were just tentacle, so they didn't have any arms. So the purple tentacle decides that he wants to conquer the world now that he has arms. So what happens is, you have to go, without spoiling too much, there's you and two other characters. I think it's Laverne and Hoagie. I want to say their names are. Don't kill me if I'm wrong. It's been a while since I've played the game. But you go into these things called chronogons, and you go to try to find this tentacle. You go into the past, and then it's like the present and the future. And what happens is you get split up from your group. And then you have a character, past, present, and future, that you need to solve puzzles along multiple timelines in order to succeed in capturing and getting the tentacle from his evil plot of trying to conquer the world. I remember, before I even knew that this game was anything, it's just... I don't know if you guys do bookathons anymore, but when I was in elementary school, they used to have this program where it was like every year you get like this thing of paper, like this little booklet, and it had all these books inside, right? And it was like this thing called a bookathon, and you would go to your neighbors, and you would go to your friends, and you go to your family members, you hassle them, be like, hey, do you want to buy a book? Do you want to buy a book? And, then you'd write down what book they want to buy, and I think they'd give you money at the time. I forget, like a check or something. I might be confusing it with Fun Runs. Oh my goodness, Fun Runs. Oh, Fun Runs. Do you guys remember Fun Runs? Well, they'll give you they give you like a quarter for every like mile that you run, and you gotta keep running laps. That's, sorry, this is what happens when you go down memory lane. You go into things you forget completely about. But in elementary school, we had to do this bookathon, and one of the number one prizes it might have been number one, it might have been like number two or number three, I recall. But either way, this was the prize that I wanted. It was Day of the Tentacle. Day of the Tentacle was, I didn't know anything about it. All I knew was that I saw the cover of the game, and then it was a PC game. And I just thought it was super cool it looked really, really awesome. So I was like, man, I really want that game. So I hassled everybody. You want to buy a book? You want to buy books? Nobody wanted to buy books. Nobody bought books from me. And you know what? Guess who won? Day of the Tentacle. Not me. I didn't win it. Someone else won it, unfortunately. I remember sitting in class. I was in the first row because I got pulled up because I wasn't paying attention. I like to sit in the back, and they're like, no, you got to sit in the front because you don't pay attention, kid. So sitting in the front row, watching this girl walk all the way up, She gets they present her with this huge box. It's got Day of the Tentacle on it. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, man, I really wanted that game. Then cut it to a little bit in the future. My uncle, who I've talked about in past videos that have gotten me Monkey Island, Curse of Monkey Island. He got me Conker's Bad Fur Day. He also got me Day of the Tentacle. I don't know if I told him that I wanted Day of the Tentacle, or that he saw that I was interested and I was trying to get Day of the Tentacle in regards to that bookathon. But either way, he ended up getting me Day of the Tentacle. And I actually still have it. You're going to see a reflection of the camera and stuff. And don't mind the... Actually, I'll just take it out of the jewel case. I actually still have the disc. I completely forgot I still had it. It's hard to see because of the reflection. Day of the Tentacle. Manic Mansion. LucasArts. Yep. 1993. LucasArts. I wish my computer still took CDs, but it doesn't. But yeah, so he got me Day of the Tentacle, and it was like Monkey Island. So I was I don't know what I got first. I don't know if I got this first or if I got Monkey Island first. Monkey Island was released after, so maybe I got Day of the Tentacle first. Either way, I was familiar with point-and-click adventures before that, so I didn't know what to do when I got the game. I was like, yeah, I got it. And then I remember like putting it in and watching the beautiful like beginning of like the cartoony beginning of the game. And I was like, okay, this looks really, really fun. It looks really cool. I just remember just being so excited because you can't, when you're a kid, you can't just play video games all day. Your parents tell you to get your butt up, go outside, do your homework. Like, so I just remember always wanting every single day to go back and play that game and to just play it more and more and more. And when I was a kid, maybe this is why I'm so snarky now. It's because they had so many backhanded comments. You know, they were just like sarcastic and insulty, like to one another, or when they're in just normal conversation, they'd say something back to him that was really just backhanded. It probably is why I am the way that I am now. But this game was back when I was a child. It was very, very beautiful. It was very colorful. It got to a point where I was like, I don't know how these things get put together. So at points of time, like during puzzles, I would just like try to randomly click on combinations of things. Like there was like a mummy, and then you had to wrap the mummy in red tape at one point. And I'm like, how am I supposed to figure that out? Like, but it shows you clues in the game, like it clearly does. But me, when I was younger, I just couldn't figure it out, you know. But it was definitely tough. Like, for example, there was a puzzle where you go to Hoagie in the past, and you give new plans from Laverne. Well, you get plans from Laverne in the future of like a tentacle. It's like because the future is run by tentacles, and then you take those plans and you send them in the toilet because it's a chronogon. It's like a portable toilet that they send stuff back and forth from past, present, and future. You send it to Hoagie. Hoagie gives the plans to I forget what's her name that made the American flag. I love history and I can't remember her name right now. And then she's like, yeah, just put it on the table. Just put it on the table. So then all of a sudden, in the present and in the future, the American flag turns into a tentacle shape, right? The puzzles are all intertwined. I guess the easier puzzle would have been Laverne is stuck in a tree in the future, and the only way to get her out of the tree is in the past have Hoagie taunt George Washington to cut down the cherry tree, but it's really like a orange or tangerine tree. So you paint the oranges red, and then he thinks it's a cherry tree, and then he cuts it down so it doesn't grow to full growth, and then the tree disappears in the future, and then Laverne can walk around. It's little things like that. But if you guys are interested, I will be streaming this game tonight at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you follow us on Twitch at KindOKGamers, I'll put the information right below, and then I'll put the link also in the description and at the end card here too. But I love this game so much, and I actually have the remastered version on my PlayStation 4 because the game ended up coming out for Windows, OS, Linux, iOS, PlayStation 4, PlayStation Vita. I had to read it because I couldn't remember all the systems. But I will be playing it on my PS4 this evening, so if you guys are interested, tune in for that. And thank you guys so much for watching, and tune in next time.